Let's start with segment 7, that is the application integration. In modern cloud applications, services rarely work alone. A web application may need to communicate with a database, send notification across like multiple places, process background tasks, trigger workflows and exposes API to users. If every service directly talks to every other service, the architecture quickly becomes difficult to manage. That's where AWS Application Integration Service helps. In this section, we will learn four important services: SQS Simple Queue Service, SNS that is the Simple Notification Service, Amazon EventBridge, and we will quickly have a look at API Gateway. Each service solves a different communication problem. Think about them like this: SQS store messages, SNS broadcast those messages, EventBridge route event, and API Gateway exposes API. These services are used heavily in modern microservices architecture. For the CLF-C02 exam, AWS often gives a business scenario and asks which service is most appropriate. The trick is understanding the purpose of each service. By the end of this section, you will know exactly where to choose SQS, SNS, EventBridge, or API Gateway. Let's begin with AWS SQS. Amazon SQS stands for Simple Queue Service. The definition says it is a fully managed messaging queuing service that enables decoupling and asynchronous communication between application components. That sounds complicated, so let's simplify it. Imagine a restaurant. Customer is placing the order. The kitchen cannot immediately prepare every order at the same time, so the orders are placed in a queue. The kitchen processes them one by one. SQS works exactly like that. Application place messages into a queue. Other application processes those messages later. Now, let's have the look at key points. SQS help decouple producers and consumers. Messages are stored very safely in SQS, and it is managed by AWS. It integrates with many AWS services: IAM, SNS, Lambda, CloudWatch. And now let's have a small discussion on the queue types. First is a standard queue. This provides maximum throughput. Messages may arrive more than once, and ordering isn't guaranteed. Second is FIFO. FIFO means first in, first out. Messages remain in order exactly once processed. And for the exam, if AWS mention order processing, banking transaction, and a strict ordering requirement, think FIFO. If AWS mentions high throughput and scalability, think standard queue. Now, have a look at the architecture. So, producers like EC2, Lambda, other services sends a message to Amazon SQS, and consumers retrieve the message, simple and reliable. For the exam goal, a standard queue, at least once delivery. FIFO queue, exactly once processing. And SQS, message queue. Consumer pull message, always remember, consumers need to pull the message. SQS isn't going to send any of the message to anywhere. Consumers, like whatever the service is using or want to use, the producer must pull it. So the memory trick is SQS stores messages until someone is ready to pull them and process them. Moving to Amazon SNS. SNS stands for Simple Notification Service. The definition says SNS is a fully managed publish subscribe managing service. Always remember pub sub. Publish, subscribe. Think of SNS as a loudspeaker. One person makes an announcement, many people hear it. That's exactly how SNS works. A publisher sends one message, multiple subscribers received it simultaneously. Now, let's have a look at the key points. SNS supports fan-out messaging. It also supports multiple subscriber types. Supports notification and alerts as well. It can be integrated with multiple AWS services. So, let's see the flow now. Publisher sends a message to a topic. The topic then distributes the message, and subscriber receives it. Subscriber can be email, SMS, Lambda, SQS, HTTP endpoint, and maybe some mobile application. And this is why SNS is called pub sub service. One publisher, many subscriber. A common exam scenario is a company want to send notification to multiple systems simultaneously. Send notification to multiple systems simultaneously. Your answer is SNS. Exam code. First one is pub sub. Second one is one to many messaging. And it also uses topics, supports email and SMS, can trigger Lambda, and also supports message filtering. The memory trick could be publish once, notify many. Whenever AWS says fan out messaging or notification, then think SNS. Next, AWS EventBridge. EventBridge is AWS's event bus service. The definition says EventBridge connects application using real-time event. But think of EventBridge as a smart traffic controller. Unlike SNS, EventBridge does not simply send everything everywhere. It checks some rules first, then routes event to the correct destination. Let's understand the flow. An event occur. Just assume an event occur. Maybe an EC2 instance stopped. Maybe a file is uploaded to S3. Maybe a Lambda function finishes execution. EventBridge receives the event. Rules inspect the event. If condition is true, EventBridge sends it to the correct target. And target could again be Lambda, SNS, SQS, step function, ECS, and many other. Let's have a discussion around key component. Event bus. Its purpose is to ingest events and matches them to the rule. Second one is rule. It defines event pattern and routes events to target. Third one is targets. It basically have a purpose of destination for event. Then there comes the schema registry, archive, and replay. Archive and replay are favorite CLF-C02 topics. So what archive does is it stores event for replay and audit. And replay could be replays archived events to the event bus. Events can be stored and replayed later as well. For the exam, remember, EventBridge is event routing. Rules decide where events go. Supports AWS services and software as a service application. Archive and replay is also available. And again, it is a serverless service. The memory trick. Receive event, match rule, and then trigger action. Whenever AWS says event-driven architecture, you can think of EventBridge other than Lambda. Now, let's have a small discussion around API gateway and then we will quickly move to the summary section. So, API gateway acts as the front door for application. The definition says, API gateway helps create, publish, secure, monitor, and maintain APIs. Imagine a hotel reception desk. Visitors don't directly enter staff rooms. They first go through reception. API gateway works exactly the same way. User sends request, API gateway receives them, then forwards them to backend services. It basically support REST APIs, support HTTP APIs, support WebSocket APIs, and also integrates with Lambda, HTTP endpoints, and other AWS services. Also, API gateway provides security with IAM, Cognito, API keys, OAuth 2.0, throttling, caching, logging, and monitoring. And the memory trick is API gateway securely exposes backend service to the user. API gateway being covered, let's quickly summarize the whole section. We learned 4 services. Each solves a different problem. First, Amazon SQS. It is used for message queues. It stores messages and decouple application. Second one is Amazon SNS. It is used for notification, one message reaching multiple subscribers, that is the pub subsystem, then it is a fan out messaging thing. Third, Amazon EventBridge. It routes event intelligently than SNS. It basically have rules and targets. Whenever the rules matches, the event is triggered and support event-driven architecture is followed in this. Fourth, as discussed right now, Amazon API gateway. It exposes APIs securely and acts as the front door for application. So let's have the final comparison. So whenever you are asked need a queue, choose SQS. Need to send notification, choose SNS. Need event routing, choose EventBridge. And need APIs, choose API Gateway. A common CLF-C02 paper can be tested upon it, and the question could be, AWS could describe a scenario like, your job is identifying the correct service. So remember these 4 lines: SQS stores, SNS broadcasts, EventBridge routes, and API gateway exposes. If you remember these 4 lines, you will answer most application integration question correctly.